First, there's the finger guns. Hello, and welcome to episode 288 of Slamfire Radio for January 23rd, 2019. I am one of your hosts, Trevor.
And I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly.
And I'm Adriel.
Man, he doesn't get the inflection like you do, Kelly. Thank you for that.
No.
Fine. All right. Tone deaf and laid on the finger guns. Tone deaf and Q mental. Speaking of Qs, let's get into what we did this week in guns, which of course is always brought to us by the Calgary Shooting Center, which is Canada's premier firearms retailer. I'm going to do that again. What we did this week in guns is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. Note the hat. I'm wearing my Calgary Shooting Center hat. This week, they have a special edition Kel-Tec Sub 2000 Black Lotus edition on for $9.25. It comes Cerakoted purple with a custom box. And couple of comments. When I got my first Sub 2000, they were only $650. And because it's a gun that our sponsor has for sale, I'm going to stop with my comments and say you should go check it out.
It probably has like a fin on the back to make it go fast.
Well, it's purple. So there's that. You got to do it, eh? You got to suck me in. No, I'm not getting. No, move on. I'm not getting in trouble with our sponsor. All right. I'm first. What we did this week in guns, I shot my first indoor match of the season, and it was at the in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I finished third. Rusty much. Hello, my goodness. I was just Captain Andy and I actually had more alphas than him, and I was faster than him. But I zeroed a stage. I had one shot go off, pointed at the target. Everything was good. Everything was legit and legal, but it went off just a little earlier than I was. Let's just say I didn't have both hands on the gun yet when the first round went off, and it was 0.97. So yeah, 0.97. I fired my first shot. Which
so did they call it an ND or why?
Well, it's not an ND. Go actually look up NDs in IPSC. It's not as cut and dry. There almost isn't an ND unless you put it between you. If you put it in the dirt between you within 3 meters of you and a target. But if the target is closer than 3 meters, well, it's not an ND. If you're shooting downrange at the target, it's not an ND. You could literally be going from one bank of targets to another and be looking that way and pump one into the berm, and it's not considered an ND. Guys,
so how'd you zero the stage?
So the first shot that went off too soon was a miss. The follow-up shot was a hit, and then downrange you had a classic, a flipper with a classic on it. So a metal plate, you hit the plate, flips over, classic stands up, and then another classic. So I went bang, bang, and then bang, bang, 2 complete misses. Apparently, I was a little frazzled. And then I hit my plate, first shot, went to the next classic to its left, and then back to the center classic. And so 3 mics on a short stage. 0. Cost me, oh my goodness. That was me reacting to Adriel's. You got to go back, listeners. All I can tell you is go back and watch the video. I'm not even going to tell you what it was, but trust me, you want to go back and watch the video. That was amazing. So a huge shout out to Tim Thomas. He destroyed us, and I'm not really putting that mildly. It was a good thumping. He deserves it. He's dry firing like a beast. He's stepping up his reloading game, and he's actually practicing. They've got like 3 indoor ranges in Nova Scotia they can practice at. So I haven't shot a gun. Well, I mean, I put a couple of rounds through the gun the weekend before just to sight it in, but I haven't shot a match since September or October. So, yeah. What else? Oh, I did some more 223 brass prep and 45 ACP brass prep, and then did some reloading. Broke out the old turret press for my 45. I mounted a scope for the other Trevor. I started another AR build. Captain Andy got that barrel situation all sorted out for me. So I ended up with a barrel, a handguard, and an upper, and then I went and bought a lower, and I had enough parts on hand that all that's left to do is end plate, castle nut, tube, spring, and stock, and I'm done. And I got another rifle built. So, but my spare parts count has gone way down. I received the replacement crank for my Dillon 650. I had broken it, and so it came with. They also sent me this alignment tool, and the alignment tool goes into your. You take a tool head, remove all the dies except for the powder die, and you put this alignment tool into that powder die, and it aligns your tool head with the rest of the press, the tool head, and the Dillon has a special name for it. The part that goes on top of the ram that your shell plate goes on. Anyway, so that took some fiddling because you're supposed to be able to move the ram up and down and not contact this alignment tool. So it's like move it a little bit, tighten the other screw. Oh, too much. It's touching on the other side now. So that took some back and forth playing before I finally got it all sorted out. But while I had the press apart to replace the broken parts, I completely degreased it and cleaned it. And it hasn't been this clean since it was
Sent to you?
Yeah, it hasn't been that clean, Kelly, since it came out of the box. So it was hours, but it's done now, and I'll finish up my 9mm reloading. Got 2,000 left to do, and then I'll switch back to 223, and then I'll switch back over to swage and some primer pockets for both 9 and 223 on the machine. That's it for me. Adriel, how's about you?
I got a Glock.
Nice.
Have you seen one of these beautiful?
Is that the
exotic?
That's the rare and exotic Glock 17.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Glock 17. Now, there's a couple things that are different on it.
Oh, really? What do they do?
It's got a tritium night sights on it.
Let me see the front.
Back.
Lock it on you.
No, the muzzle. Let me see the muzzle. Let me see the muzzle. The muzzle.
Oh, the muzzle. Like
it's a 3.
Yeah, it's a Gen 3.
Ooh.
Gen 3 tritium front and back. It's got a ghost connector in it, which was adjusted just a little bit wrong when I got it, but I adjusted it, and now it's
adjusted.
Nice.
You can't adjust the connector. What are you talking about?
Yes, you can. The ghost connector has this little peg that kind of sticks out, and it stops your over travel. So it'll actually stop the trigger, but it was never adjusted. You file away at this little peg, and what that does is
a peg.
Yeah, the connector has this little peg on it that stops the trigger from going any further back. So it is your over travel. Yeah,
right.
So you this when I got it, like you could barely get the sear to go off unless you really pulled on it. And
because the over travel wasn't adjusted.
Correct.
The same thing will happen on a trigger that has an over travel screw on the trigger shoe.
Yep. So I took that thing. I thought there was something wrong with it, so I was like, "Oh, I'll take it out." I'm like, "Oh, that's different than my other connector. My other connectors don't have this thing."
At some point, well, I guess I'll look it up on the internet. This is completely new to me. I didn't even know this was ever a thing, and I used to have Glock parts on the wazoo.
It's the ghost connector. The ghost.
I've got ghost connectors here now, but they must be older ones.
Maybe.
Huh. Interesting.
It's for the Gen 3. So, anyways, now it's got a nice short pull. It's still there's not much over travel there, right? But
very nice.
Yeah, it's got a very nice reset. I
sounds like 4.5 pounds.
Cleaned it. Yeah. I think I trigger pulled it on the weight scale there for about 4.5 or so pounds. Yeah, tried getting that out.
That was amazing.
I cleaned it right up. I greased it, and now it sounds so slick. You can't hear that, but there's like, you know how usually you get like some springing sound there? There's nothing. It just sounds great. And the trigger press is nice, and it's a Glock, so, whatever.
Yeah.
Good deal?
Yeah. I traded it for my M305.
Okay, that means I won't have to pay much for it.
Just because that was what the value that I traded for doesn't mean that's the value of the gun.
I understand how this works because I've used that line many, many times. You got it for nothing. It don't mean it's not worth something, though, does it? Yeah. And you want it.
Yeah, it's worth what people will pay for it.
You got it.
Yeah, so it's a Glock. It's cool. let's see here. I sold my Chris Vector. Sold that last night. So
Really?
yep, that's going out.
I didn't stay
I'm gonna-
long.
What stays long? I'm actually doing good right now. My safe has got room in it, which is really nice. That's what I like to see, because then I can cycle more through there. When it's all full, it's like, oh man, I can't buy extra stuff when there's a good deal that comes around, and I gotta have space so that when there's a good deal, I can make the space and get that gun in there. So I like an empty safe, or a safe that's got less stuff in it. Yeah. So sold the Chris Vector. And then right now I'm working on, I saw an article today, and I saw that same comment in the thread, and it just cheeses me off to no end. Oh, handguns, those are all just designed to kill. All they're designed for is murdering people. It's like, now my Shadow 2 is terrible. I would never want to be a hitman. Here's this Shadow 2. It's 3 pounds. If you're sagging, sorry, you're gonna be sagging hard with this thing hanging off your pants. So yeah, I'm gonna write that article so that I have a one-stop shop answer every time someone posts like handguns are only designed to kill. Boom, link every single time, because I'm sick of it. So maybe I should write that for the CCFR's blog.
Yeah, you should.
Maybe I should do that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Okay. Anyways, that's it for me. Kelly?
I didn't do anything. Seriously, didn't.
All right.
Yeah, didn't even go to SFRC like I said I was going to. Car wouldn't start this weekend, so I just spent the whole weekend at home. And yeah, that's it.
You sound better though. You're not sick
I'm
anymore.
feeling better. I'm still coughing a little bit, but hey, it's not bad. It's much better than it was.
Cool.
All right, upcoming events. Sunday, February 24th, CRPS will be having its first event of 2019 in Valcartier, Quebec. See, he's not the only one who can pronounce it, Kelly. You actually took the trouble to congratulate him in the show. Wow, you pronounced that correct. Way to go.
Well, he's the most English French guy that I know.
He's the whitest Englishman French guy we know.
Yeah.
Valcartier is where the IPSC Nationals are going to be held, so that's why I know how to pronounce it. Otherwise, I would have. Yeah, Nationals is every year, so this year it'll be right exactly after SummerSlam.
Okay.
Okay, so we will be closing. I guess Slamfire will be closing registration 7 days before the event date to allow enough time to process registrations, get names submitted to the base. Security volunteers and spectators are welcome, but they will need to be registered, and that link will appear in the show notes. Yes,
sure. It's also at rimfireprecision.ca.
Such a dick. All right, moving on. News. All right, who's got this one?
Before you jump into news,
yes.
I added a whole bunch more events to 3gun.ca. They're starting to announce more of them. Mighty Peace is doing a bunch of 2-day events. So they have a couple of clubs that they run 3gun at. All those clubs are doing a 2-day. So there's going to be a lot of 3gun in Alberta this year. I also fixed the GPS coordinates on almost all the venues. Anything where I could find a GPS or I could find the club on a map, I updated it. There's some that I couldn't. There's some clubs that have no website. They have a Facebook page. That's it. And there's just no way for a stranger to find where these shooting clubs are at. There's nothing. So I can't get those unless I travel to them. I'm not going to. So anyway, sorry.
Just message them. Say, where are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the news this week, we have the Minister of Border Security is saying we're working to plug the leaks that put guns in the wrong hands. Minister Bill Blair. Minister has been traveling the country, hearing from Canadians affected by gun violence. We also had the Canadian government dismissing the American government's concern about the border security that we run, something to that effect recently. But anyway, the federal government is working to plug the leaks that put guns in the hands of those who would use them to do harm, according to the Minister of Border Security and Organized Crime Reduction, Bill Blair. There's a quote here from him. It says, "What we have seen is an increase in gun violence across the country, and I don't think we can afford to be complacent," he told the Currents and Maria Tremonti. Well, doesn't that just fly in the face of the current statistics?
Yeah, it does.
We actually don't have an increase in gun violence.
Right. It's at the lowest level since, well, I can't remember I think it was back in 1979 or something like that.
I mean,
77, I think, according to that thing.
You can make the stats say whatever you want them to, but if you look at the overall long-term trend, it's going down.
It is going down, and it has been going down every year, except for in 2014 when there was a blip. It was a little higher.
Yeah. So, and then I like this quote. The Prime Minister gave me a very clear mandate to look at every measure up to and including banning handguns, he said. I would love to have Minister Bill Blair in front of me right now so I could pose him one very simple question. How is banning handguns going to get handguns off the street when the guns that are already there are already banned? The people who have them are already not supposed to have them and are already acquiring them through the black market. So how is a handgun ban going to take those guns out of those criminals' hands, Minister Blair? Answer me that.
They're not.
Well, it worked for marijuana. I mean, we banned marijuana in the, I don't know, 30s or something like that.
The war on drugs. The war on drugs was
brilliant.
We won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah. Drugs won. I mean, you know.
Yes, in that war, drugs definitely won. They scored a win there.
I'll say it again. Liberal logic dictates that we can get drugs off the street by making them legal, and we can therefore get guns off the street by making them illegal. Okay. Sure. Okay. Do either of you have anything else to say about this news story on the CBC?
No, I mean he's showing the direction a little bit there. He was given the mandate to look at banning something, and he's looking at banning something.
So just speculation with plugging holes. I'm assuming that part of that is also Border Service Agency.
I would hope so.
I would hope so, but I don't
pour some money into it. Like, really, come on.
But that would be
the logical solution.
Yeah. See, but the logical, but also the one that would require the most amount of effort. I mean, the Canadian government already controls the sale of firearms and the licensing of individuals who purchase those firearms. They can literally flick a switch and say, no more selling guns and no more owning guns. That, that's actually, I think, easier for them to do than to try and scan more travelers coming across the border, intercept more shipments coming across the border. That's a lot harder to do than just saying, oh, Mr. Furlot, we'll be over on the 19th to pick up your stuff.
Yeah, but you got to admit that that's not going to impact really any of those homicides or any of the
but it's just easy
gun violence.
That's right. It's about doing something that's easy, not necessarily effective.
No, it's not going to be effective at all. But it just means that we're doing something to try and it's not going to be helpful.
Nothing. Not at all. Not at all. Look at Australia and look at England. Crime has not gone down. So if you take away the implement used in the crime, that's one thing, but crime itself doesn't go down. It's at the point now in England where they want to make it difficult to purchase a steak knife. Never mind carrying a pocket knife. You're not allowed to own a sword anymore. It just goes on and on and on. And as we saw in Australia, that email last week commenting on the that blaster thing, that toy.
Yep.
Ridiculous. So, new gun stuff. Adriel.
Yes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lock it on me and share my screen. I think that's the right one. Yeah, it looks like it. And I'll get your guys' thoughts on these as we rip through them. So first one, Meprolite has this augmented weapons sight that connects with Bluetooth to your phone and puts some stuff over top.
That's cool.
You can use Alexa to order tactical snacks. It gives you tweets live on this. No, it doesn't eat any stuff. That'd be cool, but it doesn't do that. No, it does. No. It's got a compass. It's got some reticles that you can change on it. I think it's a screen. It's like a projected screen on your as a red dot.
Shot counter.
So is it also a screen on your phone as well?
Oh, that'd be neat. I don't think so. No.
Well, I mean, should you be looking at your phone or looking through your sight?
No, but it can actually capture what at the time of the shot.
Yeah, I don't think it does that. I think it's primarily grabbing the data off of your phone to put into the site, so you can get information.
It's not a video camera.
It.
Yeah, it's not a video camera built into the site.
No, it's not.
That's correct. Yeah, no.
Anyway, useless.
Yeah. It would be really. You could change your reticle. You could put like a skull and crossbones.
I can do that now. I can
on your reticle.
Yeah, there's all kinds of sites that go from red to green to crosshair to dot to circle. Doesn't work on Bluetooth,
yeah,
ridiculous. Right, I tell you what I do like about it, Adriel, is for a Meprolite, it looks small and compact. Meprolite's way more than Matthew McClatchy does. They're ridiculous. And then they're designed to go on the Tavor, which weighs, believe it or not, more than I do. So this is a huge step up for Meprolite. They actually put a bunch of hokey features on a site and made it smaller, not bigger. So,
yeah,
there's that.
Somebody will buy it because it's geeky.
Exactly.
Yeah. If any of our listeners are waiting for an FX9, Firearms Outlook Canada has.
What about never mind listeners? What about hosts?
40 of them. Do they still have any?
I was wondering, do they still have any? Because it's
out of stock.
All right, move on.
Moving on. Well, if you want one, watch CGN and get one when they come out. Loophole, actually, they brought out a series of these Freedom sites. This is just one of them, the VX Freedom Red Dot site. Have you taken a look at these?
No, it's really awesome. It literally looks like a miniature baby scope.
It's got a BDC on the top. So you dial in your distance using the top dial there. So this is something that the Spitfire has. The Spitfire is a 1X
quarter MOA
click adjustable red dot. This is a click adjustable red dot. Quarter MOA is crazy. For a red dot, they should have went with half or something, right? That's crazy.
There's two Spitfires. There's one that has a 3 power and one is a 1 power.
Yeah.
The reticle is actually etched into the lens.
Yes, they're
cool sight,
prism lens.
Yeah. So Loophole.
Yeah.
Very neat. And I think so, like the Spitfire is really popular in 3-gun because you can dial for distance and because it's a 1 MOA dot, which is a difficult dot to do, right? Most people run with a bigger dot.
3 up, 3, 6, 8.
Yeah. So this is a 1 MOA dot and it's a Loophole. So it's pretty interesting. This is going to be an option for 3-gun limited division, I think.
Do we know who in Canada is carrying it and what it costs?
No.
All right.
A lot of this stuff's SHOT Show stuff. So there's an MSRP that has been listed with some of this. We don't know who's bringing them in just yet. This is all like very new stuff.
Or how much.
Okay. This is new. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to, so American is going to be 300. So we don't know what Canadian it's going to be.
Their Freedom stuff's all pretty reasonably priced, like 300 US. I don't know what that'll be when it comes to Canada. Some retailers bring stuff to Canada and they charge the same in Canadian dollars as what they would in US.
Yep.
Excess sights, they're bringing in some really big shotgun beads. So it's hard to see from the screen here, but they're quite large. So those are kind of neat, and they're tritium. And then this one was kind of, I don't know how they're doing this, but Meopta, I don't know how to say this word. They're Meostar rifle scopes. They've got one that uses some sort of battery-free reticle that still colors the reticle. Dichromic reticle technology. It's irradiating your eyeball as you're using it.
For sure.
Yeah. And your eyeball starts to, it just starts to mess with
your one eye turns into like the Hulk's eye when you get mad. Just the eye, though. You wouldn't like my eye when I'm angry.
Yeah.
Color contrast enhancement.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but it's real neat. Yeah. Moving on. Magpul, they're releasing a PMag D50. So they had a D60 that was for 223. Now they have a D50. It's Big Brothers for 308. So totally useless for us in Canada here,
Yeah.
but very neat that they get fun stuff like that in the US. Savage is bringing out more rifles in their AccuFit line. So their AccuFit uses, and this is actually something I saw a lot of manufacturers doing for SHOT Show, spacer stocks that use spacers to adjust length of pull so that they didn't have to release a youth rifle and an adult rifle. They release one, they put a spacer in the back, style into the rifle stock so it doesn't look crappy, and you're good to go.
Modular.
Exactly, yeah. I think the AccuFits also have a decent bedding solution as well. So
yeah, it's based on the Accu stock. I believe that Denis and I saw these at the North Silva show.
Very cool.
Mm.
Winchester has a new 22.
Yeah, well cut 22.
Oh, this is not the picture I thought it was going to be, but yeah, it kind of looks like a 1022, but it's Winchester.
And one of our listeners sent me this on Instagram, was hoping to hear our take on it. So, what makes this semi-automatic 22 different from others, Adriel? Have you looked into it at all? Like, what's the story here?
No, it's like all this stuff's brand new, so we don't have very good information on most of it. This Wildcat here, for example. Yeah, I saw that it has a rotary mag. I saw that it has a trigger control group that comes out. So ostensibly, there's some replaceable parts in there. It does have an integrated pick rail, which I really like. So I think that
heck yeah,
running like the dovetail style rails is
lame,
crappy. Yeah, lame. So yeah, I don't have enough information about this just yet. I got a bunch of pistols here that I want to show you guys. The first one, I think this is
that. Just
no,
go it. No,
I thought that one was one that you want. No,
nope. No. Not even Kelly wants that.
Look at how ugly this thing is. So for the listeners, we're looking at the
new High Point.
The new high. Yeah, sorry, I'm not too into the High Points like you are, so I don't even know what the name is. Yeah, this is the new High Point.
You don't have to be into them to know that's a High Point. Like the only striker fired pistol on the planet I do not want.
Like very ugly.
Yeah,
it fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. Like if that gun was a person, its face would look like a bowl of crushed buttholes. Like it's so ugly, it looks like it caught fire and someone put it out with a chain. You know, like it's all right. I'm done.
You like it then?
Yes,
love it.
Yeah, love it. Functional. There's the Glock 48, which we've seen before. There's that High Point. This one was interesting. Did you guys see the Kel-Tec CP33?
I saw this at North Silva. It was just sitting on a wall by itself. Of course, the Canadian version just kind of like it was getting no love, no attention. It was kind of like over in the corner, like that girl that nobody wants to dance with. And I got some pictures of it. I'll send you. Like, it's a ridiculous. It's like the their pistol that shoots 22 Magnum, the PM30, I think it's called. But they made a carbine version of it.
So this is the handgun. It shoots 22 LR. It's got a quad stack magazine. It goes into 4 stacks on the mag, so it can hold 33 rounds of 22 LR. And they're saying it's for competition and tactical because it's got rail on top, and it's the charging handles on the back like an AR.
Yeah.
You saw this?
Oh, yeah, my bad. Sorry, Adriel. No, I was just looking at the picture and thought it was that gun with the stock kind of collapse with rails along the side of the frame.
It's the same gun, but it's the pistol version now.
Wow. But I don't remember that. Well, that one could have been this quad thing, but of course, neutered for Canada.
Yeah, so pretty lame neutered for Canada because you get the whole 33 round mag down to 10. Just,
right.
Yeah, makes you cry. Bunch of little guns that aren't too much of a point in having here. There's that Mossberg MC1 SC.
What does that remind you of?
This Mossberg?
Right. So who's the other company making this gun now? You said Stevens was?
Stoker's got one.
Stoker's got one, and somebody else has got one. And somebody posted on Instagram, oh, that looks like the Smith & Wesson SVD VE whatever.
That's the
9.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a Gersan. Like it's the MC28 or whatever all over again.
Yeah. Now there are a couple of. I actually got a little bit more information on the MC1SC, and if I can pull this up here, one of the things they did is they're using the rear slide plate from Strike Industries for takedown. Here, let me scroll down. There it is. So when you disassemble this thing, you push a button in on the rear plate, you pull the striker out, and the gun comes apart. It seems kind of weird, but that's what they've got going. Kind of interesting. Let's see here. What else do we got? There's a SIG P320 compact. There's the Stoeger STR9. Now, this is an import from Turkey. So Gursan, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Interesting. It almost looks like the new VZ pistol.
Yeah, it's got Glock style takedown, little fun grippy things there. Iron sights front and back. $350. Cheap. I mean, like one of the things that I was reading was actually Mossberg's marketing people were commenting on it. Most, like, I think she said 50% of the firearms sold are handguns. So that's why you see companies like Stoeger. Like, I think Stoeger's got another pistol, the Cougar or something silly like that. But we see companies like this getting into more and more pistols because there's just more market for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taurus TX22, so they've got a 22 LR pistol now.
Yeah.
I've like, the more I look, when I first saw this, I was like, I don't want that. But now, the more I read about it, the more I kind of want the Walther Q5 match steel frame. Comes with the magwell, comes with magazines with base pads on them. As far as I understand, it comes with springs to change the trigger press too, so you can get a trigger press around 3.5 pounds.
Adriel, this is the ultimate 3-gun pistol.
I think I agree with you because it has a great trigger press. It's heavy as all get out,
and no safety.
No safety.
And the slide comes milled for a red dot.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I don't. Everything else steel. It's got safeties and hammers and dumbness.
Yep.
This has all the advantages of the steel gun. All the advantages of the striker fire and all the advantages of the steel gun thrown together. Now, the trigger will not be a 1911 trigger, but the Walther was renowned for having the best striker fire trigger on the market. So I take the best striker fire trigger on the market, throw in a steel frame, make it RMR ready from the factory. Like, win. Win.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that okay, Shadow 2, $12.50, but then you, like, this one got a magwell on there. Magwell costs $130. Then you got to get different grips for your Shadow as well, so add another $100 on top of that. Then you also have to get base pads for your mags because they won't fit anymore. And this has already got those from the out of the box, and I think you can pull the magwell off if you want to shoot
production
production division.
Yeah. Now there was when the SIG P320 Q5
X5. Oh, am I still here?
You're still here.
Oh, okay, good.
Trevor's frozen.
Yeah, the P320 X5 was what he was mentioning. I'm not sure if it. Sorry, you're back
here or not.
You're back now.
The X5, when it initially came out, was not on the production list, and then IPSC got a German president, and all of a sudden it's on the list. Just coincidence, I'm sure. And but the only exception was you had to take off your magwell. So, yeah, put it on for 3-gun, take it off for IPSC production. So this will be the same thing. This will be production legal without the magwell.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do it for one, right, and not the other.
Yeah, very interesting. CCI has some new rimfire loads, and they're the ones that I was really interested. I don't actually have the pictures here. Some of these are polymer coated, so they're using polymer coating on the bullets to keep them clean and maybe not have to grease them or not have to put wax or something like that.
Well, that's exactly what you do. That's why those of us who cast polymer coat so we can avoid the ALUX, so we can avoid the waxy lube. If you don't lube your cast bullets, you'll let up your barrel instantly and you'll have major problems. So, and even with the wax coating and the lube that's on 22 ammo now, the barrels get leaded up all the time. You have to stay on top of your rimfire barrel. So this is pretty smart.
The interesting thing was seeing, we didn't have polymer coated bullets for the longest time. And then, they started to be brought into Canada or made in Canada by X Metal and that kind of thing. And now you're starting to see a lot more of them. Federal has a factory loading with a polymer coated bullet.
I have a theory.
CCI is doing them.
Yeah, well, it makes sense for Rimfire to do it. It should have been done. I wish Rimfire would have come up with it. Companies, in this case, copied what hobbyists were doing. Hand loaders were powder coating for quite a few years. And then they were like, oh, everybody thinks this is a hot thing. Somebody goes to the range with blue bullets or pink bullets or red bullets, and then other shooters think this is great. Now they're casting their own and coating them. We're losing market share, guys. We better start powder coating our own product, which is actually a lesser product if you think about it. The quality, the consistency is just never going to be there compared to a metal jacket. Polymer is different. It's a liquid. It's easier to apply. It goes on more consistent. You bake it on. Huge advantage over liquid polymer. Liquid polymer has huge advantages in the manufacturing process compared to powder coat.
Yeah.
I think the companies just started to do it because of market share and seeing, hand loaders doing it.
Yeah. And always trying to, cut costs where it makes sense.
Yeah. And certainly powder coating is way cheaper than full metal jacket. And your barrel life will extend, and your velocity increases. You can use less gunpowder and get the same velocity, or use the same amount of gunpowder and get more velocity because there's less friction between the powder and the rifling than the copper jacket and the rifling.
Definitely. And less leading. That would be nice.
Less, copper fouling.
Yeah. Let's see here. Federal's got a one. Now, they're not the first company to have a 1 3/4 inch shell. They're making a 1 3/4 inch 12 gauge shell, but they said it performs the same as the 2 3/4. Really? If this is true, if they can get a standard 2 3/4 load of birdshot moving at the same speed as a 2 3/4, I wonder if it wouldn't cycle in a semi or a pump.
In a semi, so it depends on the semi and whether it's piston, inertia, or gas or whatever. Like, it's not just about the velocity; it's about the payload. My 1 ounce loads are going, I would say, the same speed as my 1 1/8, but they won't cycle my my Turkish gun. But they will. I won't cycle the Typhoon, but they will cycle the Versamax. And the Versamax has got that crazy gas system.
Oh, this is 15/16 ounce. That's not going to work. All my hopes of running this in 3-gun and octa loading my shotgun have been dashed.
Now, so forget about birdshot though. Look at the slug.
Yeah.
When you shoot slugs, you feel it. If this slug is going 1,200 feet per second, what's a regular slug going?
I don't know. I shoot reduced recoil stuff anyways.
Pansy. What's their buckshot going? Do you have any speed in the buckshot?
1,200.
1,200. Okay, I got boxes of buckshot right here in front of me. No speed written on these anywhere? 34 pellets.
Of number 4?
Number 4, yeah.
Whoa, that's a lot more. They only have 15. So they are running like very reduced. They're probably running the same speed, but with reduced payload on these.
I got 12 pellet here, but still no speed. This is Federal. Why wouldn't they? Anyway, okay.
Yeah. Cool. Anyways, those are interesting. There's the here's the Stoeger STR9, which we were talking about a little bit, and that's very likely one of those Czech gun manufacturers that's already putting them out. I don't know if this is new or not. Have you seen the Scar 20S?
I
It's not something I've heard of before.
Is that and it's FN? Nope.
Interesting. No news about it. Just know that it's new. And then
Oh God!
have you
Turn
seen-
it off. Turn it off.
Mamba.
What the hell is that?
oh, Trevor's not a fan of the Volquartsen Black Mamba.
Oh, Jesus.
Why not?
Well, it's pretty horrendous. This looks
Kelly,
like
I'm all out. I'd tell you, but I'm all out of ugly jokes. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's probably got a great trigger. Being a Volquartsen.
Yeah.
that's like saying, yeah, she's got a wonderful personality. Stop it.
All right. Have you seen this? Steyer's doing a modular pistol frame now. So just like how the P320 uses a pistol frame that's modular, Steyer's doing that with their M9A.
Did they fix the trigger and reliability? Moving
I
on.
don't know. I don't know. Probably not. No, don't care. Don't care.
Oh,
There's a
we care about that
P2SC.
one.
Yeah.
That's
the
that's the SC. That's the subcompact.
Mm-hmm. Semi-compact.
Semi-compact. Yeah, they had one at North Silva, but it was the suppressor one with the high sights, and the Calgary Shooting Center was already selling some of those. I'm definitely the full size one. That will be. Oh man. Oh.
So the
I
C
think
said
it- you know how-
SC, because we didn't say what it was for those that are
Oh
listening.
yes, thank you, Kelly.
You're
I just
welcome.
got really excited there. Yeah, CZ's striker fire pistol, and it's coming in all kinds of different sizes and shapes and configurations. If you've ever picked up a CZ hammer fired pistol and went, wow, this thing is super comfortable and really ergonomic, well, they transferred that onto their striker fired pistol. It's uber comfortable.
I like how that they did the semi-compact thing the right way and not the Glock 19X way. So they went with a longer, the regular size barrel and slide, and with a compact grip, where the 19 ran with the shorter slide and barrel and regular size grip.
It's almost like they've remembered to compact the size of the gun that's hardest to conceal.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
I don't know. Do you care about 1911s? Seems like you do. There's a bunch of 1911s. Stop your drooling, Trevor.
Dude, you see one 1911, you almost see them all. It's like, what can you really do, honestly? Oh, look, forward cocking serrations. Oh, look, a rail. I mean,
more stuff we can't own in Canada. Fully suppressed upper on a Ruger Mark III or 2245. I mean, they've got a ported M&P shields just in case you want to do some self-defense and deafen yourself while you're doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beretta
now that's a
92s.
nice Beretta. That's not just any Beretta 92. That's the Wilson Combat Beretta 92 Vertec. Like, they fixed everything that was wrong with the grip in that model. It's really nice. Look at that magazine release.
Yep.
If you're a Beretta 92 fan, but they don't fit you, check out the Wilson Combat Vertec.
Yeah. Stuck in the 90s. Yeah.
80s.
80s. Yeah. There we go. Who cares? Who cares? Bursa, who cares? Taurus. Sorry, I'm just ripping through.
It's good.
XD, who
Rip.
cares? Yeah.
Definitely. Who cares?
FN 509 midsize. So
We already,
again,
okay. Good.
you're seeing a lot of these manufacturers who have like one good pistol. They take it and they blow it out across the different sizes.
Mhm.
A lot of competition now. This is completely different. This might happen or might not. So who cares? This was kind of interesting. Did you see this little guy?
That's horrific.
It's got two barrels. There's two barrels on the front of this revolver.
A double barrel revolver with no trigger guard. And it looks like a paintball trigger.
Yeah.
Standard
it.
manufacturing S30 333
Thunderstruck. Thunderstruck.
Struck.
I already know what its theme song is going to be.
You've been thunderstruck.
Yeah,
That's what you sing. You're required to. If you cap a bad guy, you're required to sing that right afterwards.
Yeah.
You shoot him and you go, "You been thunderstruck."
Do you know what it looks like? You guys.
Shit. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, Men in Black, the cricket.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It is
Yeah.
very
Got a
weird. and
small little
spacey.
pointy barrel.
Yeah,
This has no barrels.
it is. No.
I'm sure there's 1 inch of barrel there. Come on.
Oh God! It fits literally sitting in the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
God.
And two barrels. Q5. Oh, there. If you want a Magnum Research BFR and 500 line bow, you can get that. Line bow. Yes. Anyways, the theme of this year's SHOT Show 2019 seems to be lots and lots of pistols.
Yeah.
All the pistols. All right, I'm gonna stop that because I have had enough looking at cool stuff that we can't get in Canada and cool stuff that is really super duper ugly and I don't really want.
So is there anything for the main topic then, or was that it?
That was just it.
That was it.
So listener feedback, YouTube version. Randy McDonald says, looks kind of like the handgun from Total Recall, and he was referring to that Keltec that we saw.
Yeah.
We have no regular listener feedback, and if we did, it would be brought to us by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at www.dcgunsmith.ca. You can follow him on Facebook at facebook.com/Armory DC Gunsmith and on Instagram at instagram.com/Armory DC Gunsmith. So Armory is the French spelling of Armory. And he is currently looking for an employee. So far, those who have applied are either illiterate or don't pay attention to detail. Must be bilingual. So, how's your French? I don't speak French. Must have an RPAL. You got your RPAL? I don't have a PAL.
I was trying to sell it. I said, you know what? Everybody in New Brunswick is looking for a job, would like to do it within the firearms community. Trevor, you can work with him. I didn't get a lot of bites.
The whole idea.
I think you answered your question why, but
okay, 1, you're both jerks. 2, the idea is to replace me because I'm hardly ever in there. So, right, it's not going to be work with me. It's work because I can't be there all the time. Yeah. So don't let me stop you from applying to DC Armory.
Okay, go work for Denis. He's a nice guy.
I can see that during the interview, Kelly. He's like, so do you have any questions? Yeah, will I be working the opposite days of Furlot?
Yes, please.
All right. Yeah. If you would like to send us an email, and I'm talking to you, Spencer, you can do so by sending it to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Hey, it worked last time.
I know. 2 weeks.
it did. Yep.
No one has any shout outs except for Matthew, and those are old. No new Patreonies. We will have a Patreon episode coming out within the next couple of days. So if you're a Patreonie, keep your eye out for that. The other Patreonies, your swag is always trickling out. So if you haven't got it yet, patience, you will.
It's not trickling out. I'm waiting for the stuff to come in, but it's coming in soon. Like end of this month, start of February, I'm going to have all new stuff.
It's trickling out from the manufacturer to you, to them. It's a trickle. In multiple directions, you know.
We didn't say why Matthew wasn't on the show today.
We didn't. He is his beaver is broken, and he's got a problem with his beaver.
Yeah,
his beaver is broke. He broke his beaver. There you go.
Oh, poor Matthew. That hurts.
And Kelly, you broke your beaver, and that's
he jammed it into the snow, and that's really what broke it.
No, he cut the tip of his beaver off. Actually,
oh, good.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, I did.
Tip cut right off.
It was him and a friend, and they broke the beaver together. Yeah.
All right, what's the name of the Jewish guy that cuts the foreskin? That's his new
rabbi.
Moyle?
No, Moyle. Matthew the Moyle.
Matthew the Moyle. Awesome.
Oh yeah. What else we got? That's go join the CCFR, or you're a communist. Just kidding. Join CCFR. You could check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. You'd be the first one in weeks. No one ever replies to us over there.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, Kelly.
But okay, it's only occasionally.
Just not very often.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I just said, weeks. You can literally go back and check my facts on that. Like it's on Facebook. We're at 2033. And that's it for this week. Look forward to the bonus episode, which will be coming out soon. And see you next week, everybody. Oh, to all of you at SHOT Show, where we're not, shout out to our friends, Baby Goes Pew Pew's down there, and Gavin and Dave and some other, the X-Metal folks are there. Anyway,
Dan Damaris is there.
Yeah, of course, Dan is there. I hope each and every one of you have a great time and get the plague.
Nice.
That's a common thing, right? The SHOT Show plague.
Yeah. Have you seen SHOT Show Bingo?
No.
You get a bingo card with all these ridiculous things that you can check off while you're at SHOT Show. One of them is get a selfie of a gun bunny taking a selfie. That's like one of the squares. It's all that stuff. SHOT Show bingo card. It's hilarious.
Sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, enjoy SHOT Show, people.
Come back and tell us all the fun and crazy things that are down there.
Is that the ending? See you next week.
It's awkward. Yeah.